What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning back into the Biz with G. Right here, right now, we have the beautiful and talented Chrisette Michele is back with us to talk about R&B Divas, Rich Hipsters, and her new album that will be coming out soon. How's it going, beautiful?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming back. We appreciate you.
For sure. Thank you for having us.
Anytime. So, the last time we talked, it was before Better came out. And let me ask you about that album briefly, because it is phenomenal. I love You Should Let Me Win and the vulnerability side of that. Is that what you were going for with this album?
Thank you. You Should Let Me Win was one of my favorites, especially because my brother and I wrote it. It was our first, real major collaboration on a commercial album.
Nice. And then how was it, working with your brother on this project?
It was fun. It's so important to receive that Grammy nomination validation for a new artist. And because this was kind of his first moment with his big sister, it was kind of cool that the album was Grammy nominated and now he could be called a Grammy nominated writer.
That's incredible. And the response to that, were you surprised how big the response was to it, or did you kind of expect that going into this album?
I'm really grateful for the fans that I have. They stand by me, and I think they understand where my heart is when I create things. And so they have this strange understanding, kind of the way that I feel about Erykah Badu. I kind of, no matter what she does, I'm like, I got your back. My fans seem to love me the same way, so I am so grateful for this support.
Absolutely. And one song that everybody seems to really still loving, I love it, is Rich Hipster. Let's talk about the fact that, no doubt, let's talk about the fact how you're launching the Rich Hipster website. Tell everybody about Rich Hipster who might be stuck in a hole somewhere and they're just coming up to speed. Tell them about Rich Hipster.
About 4 years ago, I moved to Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I was raised in Long Island, but Brooklyn was a big part of my upbringing. And I met all of these people who were entrepreneurs and designers and artists and, just really into culture. And, they kind of had on their Chuck Taylors and black skinny jeans, but some of them were there on dad's money, some of them were there on their own money, and one thing they all had in common was a richness in art, and they all had this richness in heart, and so I wanted to capitalize on what I had seen there because it meant so much to me. It inspired me so much musically, and I kind of found my home when I found Williamsburg. So I wrote about it in the last album with the song Rich Hipster. And now I'm launching a website on August 11th called richhipster.biz. So I'm just excited for the lifestyle website that I'll be launching.
Absolutely. And now Rich Hipster that's going to be a clothing, right?
Well, there will be some clothing aspects to it, but really it's more of a lifestyle experience. I want people to kind of see who I am outside of the music. So you'll see things like, behind the scenes at the TV show or behind the scenes in my house or behind the scenes, when we were putting together the ballet for the Lyricist Opus. A lot of things that are happening in my real life that people don't get to see, in public and in the media.
Right. That's awesome. And I think that's a great thing for you to launch because a lot of people, you're more you're the low-key artist that doesn't get too, out there too much. Like, people aren't digging for you. So this is going to be great for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm kind of low-key and I'm definitely introverted. So if I'm not on the stage, then I am behind closed doors. I'm pretty private. So after 7 years in the industry, I finally have found what I think is my niche. And I feel like I found my place. And so I'm able to expose it because it's something I'm really comfortable with. But it takes some time to get used to being an artist in the public eye. And it took me 7 years.
Definitely. And in those 7 years, what has been the one thing that you absolutely just say you've learned the most?
That it's okay to take my time, and that you can take moments off, that you can stop whenever you need to. I take breaks, for a week at times and go to, I don't know, and I'll take a break for, 6 days and hang out in Miami just to kind of reboot. I don't push myself further than my heart does, and when I run out of things to say, I stop speaking. I think a lot of times people try to keep up with the next person or up with the next artist. And really, art comes from your heart, and you have to wait on it,
Absolutely. And that's a good thing that you realize that being patient and you have to wait on certain things, because a lot of people, especially coming to the industry, they are trying to do a quick come up and try to make that one hit. And yeah, they make that one hit, and they are the one-hit wonder that we never see again.
Yeah, that's a very uncomfortable thing because, I've been an artist since I was a little girl. I've been painting since I was a little girl. I've been playing the saxophone since I was 8. I've been making clothing since I was a little kid. I've always had a sewing machine. So, I have to be here to do this. I have to stay here to express this. So art is not a one moment for me. It's my life.
Absolutely. And I know that you are working on this new album. Tell them the title of the album, because it's very, I love how you have these very innovative titles. Tell me the title, because I just love it.
Thank you. It's called the Lyricist Opus. My mother has yet to pronounce it because she calls it the LO. She thinks Lyricist Opus is too long. She's my manager, and so we go back and forth on everything. But I decided that I wanted to pay for an orchestra, and I wanted to pay for horns, and I wanted to pay for a composer and an arranger, and create music the way that I learned that music was created back in the 1800s and the 1600s, when violins and cellos were the main component of the music. And then I added on top of it all genres, from neo-soul to R&B to alternative rock, and there's even country and gospel. But it was started from, that bass sound of the strings. And that meant a lot to me. I knew that this wasn't something that I could ask, a major record label for. And so once I was finished with my litigation, which just ended at the middle of this year, I decided to take the money out of my own bank account and pay for it myself. And that was a very, very rewarding experience.
That's incredible. Whoa.
Yeah.
So wait, you're not with a label anymore?
Oh, no, I'm still with the label. I just decided to do this without, the support of a record label. This is not necessarily a commercial release. It's a heart release, and if that becomes commercial, then I'll be happy with that too.
Okay, wow. And I mean, woo, I like the differentness, because this is almost reminds me of when we talked about Dr. Hepburn mixtape, and how you I love how you come up with this, how the process been to really recreate the sound of that time and mix it with today, and really be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be able to I don't want to say express yourself, but be able to deliver both ends. There we go.
Sure. Well, creating a commercial album is a little easier than creating an album, that is conceptual. Freedom Reign was a conceptual album. In its inception, it was supposed to be about freedom and what it's like to be an African American in America today. But when you try to release something like that commercially, sometimes it gets lost in translation. You have to add songs that have commercial value. So this time it was important to me to keep it completely conceptual and stay within the confines of what I visioned as an artist. This opus goes along with a ballet. The ballet that we filmed is a series of 5 movements where the ballerina or the hip-hop dancer or the break dancer is dancing to the music. It is a music video, essentially, but it's really focused on the art of dance. I couldn't ask a record label to pay for something like that, so I had to do it myself. Mm-hmm.
And I see exactly why, because I come from a dance background, started at 6, so I know exactly the reason behind wanting to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and front this bill myself, and when I need y'all, I will, because that's like the whole world of dance is like that, and a lot of people don't know. But getting into that, and then you're trying to, like you had said, you got your ballet with your hip-hop, that's expensive.
You know what? Dancers have incredible resilience to them that I learned about while filming them. First of all, it was important to me to film their bodies. So I might film the buttocks for a part of the video and then one thigh for a part of the amount of expression that goes into that thigh muscle is 10 times the amount that goes into my small voice muscle. And then they're using their entire body. So how much energy goes into that is incredible. I loved filming dancers.
That is so dope. So now, when you film, because you mentioned the fact that it was important to like really film the body and stuff like that, did you watch like any videos like of like how to notice that fact? Because that's what they do with those videos. Like
well, since I was a little girl, I've been a dance fanatic. I was a chubby ballerina. Now, I'm not, anybody's dancer, but one thing that I've always loved was dance. I choreographed dances in high school, and I was a dance instructor through college to pay some of my book bills, but never a professional. But I've always admired the craft. I've always admired the art, and I've even taken classes in New York at Curry Dance Studios and Broadway Dance Center and sat in with ballerinas just to feel some of what a dancer feels. So I've always been really, really interested in the body, in anatomy, and in how the heart connects with the body's movement.
I seriously cannot wait to see the ballet and to see hear the music. My goodness, can't wait.
Thank you.
No doubt. So tell me about the your decision about doing R&B Divas, because I was not expecting that.
Honey, neither was I. Truthfully, I'm walking into the first scene. I'm saying, I can't believe I'm doing this. Now, I'm the type of person who doesn't really see cameras, but I am very, very shy at the same time. The scariest part for me was meeting new people. I didn't mind the cameras. It was meeting the new people and making new friends.
Wow. So were you kind of weary about doing it at first, or were you like, let me try this out?
I hear so many connotations about the word diva. And so I was afraid to meet a diva, in every sense of that word, because I didn't really know what it meant outside of Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Toni Braxton, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion. I didn't know what it meant outside of that. It's not really a term that we use in 2014 to describe our artists unless they have a bad attitude. And so I didn't want to meet anybody who had a bad attitude, because that's something that I don't do well with. I don't do well with believe that I don't notice things. That's not my forte. So when I see something, I call it out. I call it out the way my mother calls me out. Not the way, they might call it out in the club. But I'll call it out.
Right. And how was it, filming with the ladies this season?
It was really fun. It was literally 2 to 3 shoots per day for 6 weeks straight with a break and then a trip. So I had never worked so much in my life. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been on tour for the last 7 years nonstop. But this is not the same. I do my makeup when I'm ready to do my makeup. I go on stage at night time. I don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. I get the back area of the tour bus. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this was different. I'm stuck in one city for 6 weeks. I'm turning down shows because I'm doing a TV show. It was very different for me.
Were you? Oh, wow, that's crazy. I could never imagine turning down shows. Like, was it like contractually, like with the production that you had to turn them down, or it was just too much on you to do all of that?
Well, no, I'm never too busy. I love to be busy, but I had to tell the production studio that I had shows coming up, and I wasn't able to book any shows outside of what I already had coming up. So say if there was a day where I don't have to shoot till 10 p.m., I might try to get out, do a show in Phoenix, and make my way back to Los Angeles in time for 10 p.m. I'm a workaholic. I just love to do my craft.
Yes, you are, because, I mean, like you said, you've been on tour, like, whew, I think every year, like, you don't stop. You go in.
No, well, I have to. When you're a soul singer, when you're an R&B singer in 2014, you have to stay on the stage because you're not on television. So this is the blessing in disguise.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to see the show because I was almost. Let me tell you something. When they said that you had joined, I didn't know what to think. I was like, oh, is Chrisette going to give it to him or is somebody going? I was just like, you know what? I was like, shit. David, you're just gonna have to wait. That's why I ain't diving too deep with the questions on the show because I'd rather, just watch it to see. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm curious. I can't wait. Can't wait for tomorrow. Now, what would you say that we definitely can expect though?
You definitely can expect cis women that don't know each other getting to know each other in a short period of time. The words that I had to keep in my head were love, peace, sisterhood, and forgiveness. Forgiveness having an exclamation mark. Because if you're going to make friends with somebody in 6 weeks, then you got to be able to forgive and let the small things slide really quickly. Otherwise, you can go crazy because these are 6 people now. It's not just one person you're getting to. You're getting to know 6.
Right. I can only imagine. Wow. Well, Chrisette, thank you so much for this catch-up chat. I definitely appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Now, tell everybody who might have been, in a dark hole, like some people can be, where can they follow you as far as, like, your social media is concerned?
You can find all my show dates on my Facebook fan page, which is Chrisette Michele. You can follow me on Twitter, which is Chrisette M. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Chrisette Michele. And on August 11th, you can go to richsister.biz and follow me, my life, and my ideas there.
Absolutely. Well, Chrisette, thank you so much again for coming back. And I'm still waiting for my follow back on Twitter, too.
I promise, today.
I'll send you a tweet with a whole bunch of crazy faces so you know it's me.
Okay, perfect.
All righty. Thanks again.
Be so blessed. Thank you.
All right. Anytime. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.